Well, would you go as far as moving to an entirely different state just to get away from the high taxes? Well, millions of people are, and they're taking their money with them. Here to explain is author of How Money Walks. It's Travis Brown, and he's brought a touchscreen computer here to show us how it all breaks down. Travis, nice to see you this morning.
Good to be here.
So we're going to dive into some of this data on this screen here in a moment with a map of the United States. How did you compile this data? What does it show us?
Well, I'm from the Show Me State, and years ago we wanted to know and prove how and where our people were moving out of St. Louis, for example, to Texas and Florida. We sourced the Internal Revenue Service taxpayer data file, collected all the taxpayer records over the past 15 to 18 years, and that's what this map represents.
So what does this map show us?
It's the move of adjusted gross income by taxpayers voting with their feet and their wallet, where they've moved in the past 18 years from 1992 all the way to the most recent records of 2010.
Okay, so 2010, the freshest smelling data. All right, so let's start with the state that's losing the most, and I see up here the state we're standing in right now, New York.
The Empire State is America's biggest loser of adjusted gross income net of all transfers, and that's $68.1 billion. A New York minute now costs $7,100 in adjusted gross income. It's the greatest loss of any other state.
Wow, and who gains as a result of it?
Well, the state that's gaining from New York and the state that's gained the most around the country, the Sunshine State. Florida has gained, in our analysis, the past 18 years, over $95 billion. A Florida minute, every minute of every day for the last 18 years, now averages a production of $10,000.
Wow. All right, North Carolina is next. Why is North Carolina special in this?
North Carolina was doing well in the previous analysis, gaining $25 billion on the eastern seaboard, but just recently their governor and their legislature cut the price on work, cut income taxes over the next few years, so look for good things out of North Carolina.
So the red arrows represent it leaving the state. Green arrows coming into the state.
That's right. And the red states here from North Carolina's position are all losing their income relative from the standpoint of North Carolina.
Let's go to Kansas next.
Sure. Kansas is another state that has made big changes this year. They've lowered the price on work. Small businesses are now not taxed on their income. They were taxed at 6%. January this year, 0. So look for big changes of what the Wall Street Journal refers to as a heartland tax rebellion.
Interesting. And I remember Kansas, correct me if I'm wrong, a few years ago, they were giving property away. Weren't they encouraging people to move to the state?
Again, bold changes there. Governor Brownback zeroing out self-employment taxes, having a big impact on my border state of Missouri. People are going to have to respond, and others are cutting taxes across the board. But out west, we see this phenomenon with California. The green states are all receiving California income due to Californians moving.
Okay, so go a little wide on this shot, if you would, for me, because this is interesting. So over here on the East Coast, you have a lot of East Coasters that are leaving these really hard-hit states like New York. It looks like they're going to California, but then Californians are aware, and they're leaving California.
That's right. The majority, according to the past 18 years, these red states are the ones contributing to California income and population, whereas the green states are all receiving California wealth. In the case of Texas, over $6 billion leaving California for Texas. In the case of Arizona, they're gaining, and Nevada, the neighboring state, has gained nearly $10 billion right out of California.
Wow, fascinating stuff. Fascinating stuff. How can people learn more? I guess the website, howmoneywalks.com, for where that you're tracking all this money state to state. Fascinating stuff, Travis. Thanks so much for doing it.
Thank you.